Oh, getting this off too soon.
Fateful sign.
What up, what up, what up? What's going on, everybody? Episode 86 of Shut Up, Let's Talk, folks. Hanging out with Bruvvy today. All right, let's go around the room. We're going to go around well, this is not the room. This is the table, but still. I rotated my body around the whole shit. I look like a lighthouse. A beacon of optimism, folks. How are you today, guys? Thank you so much for joining me and us and everyone.
Thanks for having us, man.
Thanks for being on. This is the most people I've had on the show at one time.
Yes! Bruvvy breaking records.
For real. It's Bruvvy vibes, man.
Bruvvy vibes, man.
The cool, you guys have Bruvvy vibe shirts? You guys have those?
Yeah, we have Bruvvy shirts, but
for the summertime, we need like the 70s style logos.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
some
good.
muscle tanks.
Yes. Bruvvy, guys. So it's funny, when I first heard the name, you know, you hear the name and you wonder, what is this coming from? Has to be UK slang.
Yes. Yeah.
Ah, cool.
You're the first person. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, because they say bruv all day, so I'm like, what is Bruvvy? And I'm just like, Bruvvy has to be like broski or Brody.
Yeah, unless like, because I have some people like, they would ask like, oh, where does Bruvvy come from? Unless you actually were maybe on vacation to England or something, like you've been there.
Watch a movie, man.
Watch a movie from there.
Unless you listen to like an Amy Winehouse interview.
Probably comes from.
Do you guys get a lot of fans from the UK because of the name?
No.
No, probably see us over there.
That's awesome.
They see us, they're like, who are these?
Why are they appropriating our clothes?
So how did Bruvvy come to be? I'm sorry?
Closer? Talk like this?
Come closer, my child.
Is it doing a thing? Okay.
Make sure this is plugged in properly. Oh, my God, I almost hit you in the face. I'm so glad I did not hit her in the face.
I'm used to it.
That would have.
I hit myself in the face with a mic every day of my life.
That would have been a bad blooper.
So yeah, name Bruvvy, right?
Yes. And not the name, but the band. How did the band come to be? How did the four of you realize, oh shit, we make good music together? Oh look, my cat just came in to ruin everyone's day. How are you, friend? Oh look, he's falling in love back here. Oh my God, it's like a romantic comedy.
How should we start that?
This is the rom-com. Oh, I love it.
We can start with how we got started and then
Yes.
the name.
We used to play in a band together, Paul and I, when we were in like early high school, like
Middle school, man. Yeah.
late middle school, early high school.
Sweet.
Called Without Gravity. And
Defy Gravity?
Without Gravity.
Without Gravity, cool.
So basically, we were playing, our drummer left, so we found this guy, and then this guy found that guy.
The tides have turned.
And then they got married. Oh my God.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry,
I
guys.
think he's just in heat right now.
I neutered him when he was 6 months, so that should not be happening.
Yeah, but once he smells like Nelson's Fabio cologne, like he's like, it's all over.
He's like, wow, it's irresistible! Fuck!
Yeah, exactly.
I imagine his voice sounds like Plankton from SpongeBob. He really is Plankton. You mediocre clarinet player. I love it. That's him right there. Anyway, guys, so you guys were in a band in the beginning.
We were in a band, and then our old drummer left the band. We were in a band for like, with
1
this
month.
guy for like a month. We all went to high school together.
Cool, man.
And at one point, like sometime after that, Paul and I met up again. We're like, hey, dude, like, why not? Let's just jam. Like, because we always clicked. We're like musical soulmates, like 100%. And
That's
so
essential,
then,
by the way.
yeah,
you need
for
that.
Sure. We hit up Juancito because he's the only drummer that we knew, but also he's the best drummer ever.
I was on a 5-year.
It was a pure coincidence, yeah.
I hadn't played drums in 5 years. And they were
No way.
like, hey man, why don't you come out of retirement? Play a couple tunes.
Took out his boxing gloves and just got on the kit.
No, he automatically went to like UFit and started doing those rope things, and he's like,
Oh my God.
I gotta get ready.
Is that a drum drumming exercise?
You gotta build the chops, man.
Is that a thing? Do drummers actually do that, or is that like just the best joke
I don't know,
ever?
but he
I
does
think
for sure.
every drummer does it.
That's
I can't
amazing.
think of a single
There's like
drummer
Travis
that's done it.
Barker
too. They just go ah.
Like every Gatorade commercial, right?
Yes,
Like a good.
exactly.
Like
They're all
yeah,
drummers.
like his sweat is the same color of the Gatorade he's drinking, right? Like he's just
That's what it
going.
is.
That's amazing, dude. Well, that's awesome. With 5-year retirement, he came back out,
Yeah.
and then where did it develop from there?
I
Paula
knew Nelson for quite a while. Like during our high school years, we were in the same friend group, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Wait, you play guitar?"
Honestly, I haven't been in a band since like jazz band in high school, and
Whoa.
I would just hang out with her friend group, just every on and on. But I would never mention I play guitar that much because it wasn't really a thing. But then she's like, "Oh, you play guitar, right? You need another guitar." And I'm like, "Oh right, I do play guitar."
Yeah.
You know.
That's
The
amazing.
thing I did.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
man. And you guys are all really good musicians.
Oh, thank you.
You guys are good,
We
man.
pretend to be.
No, you guys definitely are.
Literally fake it till you make it. Like
Yeah.
that's literally the entire scenario.
You can't fake those melodies, man. Those are some real notes, man. You play jazz band? You play guitar in jazz band?
Yes. I play
That's
guitar.
pretty awesome. Is that where you
Yeah.
built your chops?
That honestly, I think that is the majority of where my chops probably come from because my teacher really pushed me to learn some hard
That's
pieces.
sick, man.
See, that's Michael Crop Jazz Band. Jazz Band at
ATM.
ATM. We all went. The three of us went to Alonzo and Tracy Morning in North Miami.
Cool.
And my jazz teacher or like band teacher, shout out Mr.
Yo,
Virgil,
Mr.
dude.
Virgil, man.
He hated guitar players.
What?
And bass players.
And bass players,
He
so
made me
he
play the
just-
French horn for a year,
Oh,
even though I was
no.
like, "Yo, I play bass."
He had like a mixed band class. It was
What did
like,
he play?
I think
Trumpet.
like clarinet or so trumpet.
Saxophone.
Saxophone.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sax player hating on guitar players. That's interesting.
It was so odd, and he was like, he had this mixed band class where it was like horns, but then it was also kind of like jazz ensemble in the back.
Right.
And
Can we say band class loosely, by the way?
right. He
Very loose.
put all the guitar players in the back closet, and then like there were like 6 of us, and we just kind of sat in a circle.
That's
and we
amazing.
Were like, hey guys, what's your favorite Rush riff? Like that's what second period was freshman year. That's
Well, I think a band is the best byproduct of that kind of behavior because once you once you kind of like outcast a certain group of people and put them together, ideas are going to happen. Because I'm sure that was kind of frustrating in its own way. You guys were like, what the fuck, man? So no, it's really good, man. That's the best way to build chemistry. And the guys, since playing music in school is the best way to build musical relationships. Like, me and my best friend, we grew up playing guitar together.
Right.
And that was the way that's how we got better. We would exchange riffs and we would learn stuff. And, you hang out the next week. And this is before social media and stuff. So, like,
Right.
you hang out the next week and then, you got to exchange your riffs on your shitty little practice amp.
Right.
I had a terrible amplifier, man. What are some of the first equipment, first pieces of equipment you guys got,
I had a $50 Yamaha bass.
Sweet.
Yeah. I still have it. Actually, funny story. We sold it to get like my upgrade. I upgraded to jazz bass Geddy Lee. It was freaking
yeah.
best purchase of my life.
Sweet, man.
But so we sold this $50 Yamaha for like $30.
Whoa.
And
Pretty good. Not a bad return
for
on
a
that.
$700 bass, but whatever.
That bass was $700?
No, the
Oh, for the one you got? Yes. Okay.
$30 didn't really do much, but
Well,
3 years
covered the
later,
tax.
there you go.
Right.
3 years later, I go to my dad's place, and sprawled out is that same guitar, and he's like, "Oh, I tracked it down. Like I found like the little tracker for it, like where it was sold to, and we're gonna put it in a little casket-looking thing and hang it up in your room."
that is the
So
coolest thing in the world. You tracked it down.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, because there's like a
By
little
the serial number.
serial numbers?
Yeah.
That's so radical, man.
So it's
What?
hanging in my room.
That is the
Yeah.
coolest story ever.
Little
man.
did you know your dad was actually the one that like bid on it, and it was sitting in his
hell
office
yeah,
like
dude.
the entire 3 years.
Your dad is the guy that bought it from you. He had like the little, like the nose and the mustache
the little
disguise.
Yeah.
Who else would pay $30?
Like,
for
I'll
that?
take it. Yes, no, I'll take it. That's awesome, man. And then, so you know what? I'm sorry, guys. You could tell this is the first time I've done a interview with 4 people at the same time because
No, that's fine. That's fine.
I haven't even introduced everybody, guys. Can you guys introduce yourselves, please, so I can learn your guys' names because I've called you guys Bruvvy as a collective, and I gotta cut that
We
out.
are an entity.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I'm Paula, and I play bass for the band.
Cool.
I am Liz, and I sing and play guitar for the band.
Juan, play drums.
Nelson, I play the guitar.
Paula, Liz, Juan, and Nelson.
Yes.
You got
Sounds
it,
like a
dude.
band to me. I like it.
There you go.
And you guys don't get to know who I am.
Like,
We're
what
so
was that?
And that's
we're so close to PB and J.
oh my god. And that is Legato back there, guys. I'm sure you've heard of him.
He's part of the band now.
He is,
Yeah.
right? Oh man,
I was like, what is that thing clawing?
oh no, is he stuck on you?
He is. But
Oh,
it's
no.
okay. I love him.
You think he'll get out? I might have to take him out, guys.
No, he's got.
He's good. All right, cool.
He's fine.
Some. Sure, please, thank you. Yeah, we're gonna have to escort you out of the building. Legato.
Getting a little too nuts for us.
He's a good one. He's just very
Oh,
protective.
He's so awesome.
We'll
he's
miss
so
you.
cute.
He's a lover.
Love you.
Little
baby.
chunky, fluffy boy.
He is. He loves to eat. He eats all day.
Chungus.
He is. I think he sees me eat all day because I eat chips and all sorts of dumb shit all the time. So he's probably just like, he's always hungry, always snacking, always crunching.
Word.
I can always hear him crunching from in the house. Anyway, guys, we started talking about instruments.
Yes.
And then cats. So Liz, what about your first
Yeah,
pieces of gear? What do you play now? You play guitar also, you said?
Yeah, I play a Les Paul, a 70s like studio tribute, and I play on a Vox now. I recently upgraded.
Oh.
But my first amp was actually, I still have it to this day. It's still my practice amp. It's the teeny tiny, like how many, like 60, like 90 watt, like little orange combo amp.
Oh, wow.
It's my favorite thing in the world. And my first guitar was literally like first act, like little babies, like pink, like wannabe Telecaster ass, like
I
looking
love
thing.
it. I love it.
And then I got
Yes.
I actually had a Mexican Strat passed on to me from my uncle, and then I got an American Strat, and then I moved on to the Les Paul. That was the last
Cool,
guitar
man.
I purchased.
That's a cool guitar journey.
Yeah.
First act. My first guitar was a first act. I had a first act acoustic guitar. It was a 3/4 size, and it was funny because I used to think I was like, man, I got this like little baby guitar, you know. I'm like, it's got a smaller body, and I'm a big Opeth fan. That's my favorite band.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. It's my favorite band. Of all
Damnation,
time.
best album.
And that's actually the first album I started started with
Yeah.
them on. Amazing masterpiece of an album. And it was funny because a lot of those songs I would try to learn them, and they were hard to play at the time, but
Yeah.
they weren't as hard, on how do I say this? It wasn't as hard on that smaller guitar.
Yeah.
And I would try them on bigger acoustics, and it was really annoying to play. And then I saw the DVD of how they made Damnation, and he's actually playing a 3/4 size acoustic on the whole album.
Oh.
So he's playing the same smaller size acoustic. So, there's something to that.
Yeah.
Closure is one of the best songs ever. So check that
Yes.
song out.
I used to I still like When It Rains. I put on like Death Whispers a Lullaby, and I'm just like
Whole
looking
album.
out my
is
window.
That's great guitar work. Even the guitar solo that comes in on window pane.
The guitar player itself, I love the chords he uses in most of his like
Yes.
music. It's
He never plays like a boring chord.
What's his
exactly.
name
He
again?
never
Like
plays a boring chord.
They're like
That's exactly his name.
from the
It's
from the Netherlands, or where are they from?
Sweden, and Michael Ackerfeldt is the lead singer.
Very
Close. Schnackenfeld. Yeah, same. Yeah. Snickerdoodle. Same thing.
Schnackenfeld is actually Michael's favorite food.
Miguel Angerfeld. Absolutely, man. Juan. Sorry, man. I'm telling you, I'm working on it. Yeah.
No. Mine is actually a funny story. So I started playing drums on Rock Band. On
Oh!
a little plastic one.
Sorry, my reaction said it all. Whoa!
Every drummer ever.
And I got really good at that. I'm still really good at rock band.
He's like, might as well move on to real drums.
Yeah.
I was a legend in the arcades.
Yeah, that was
amazing,
like
dude.
7th grade going into 8th grade.
That's a skill. That's hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, it built like the coordination and everything. And so I was at Best Buy in the music department when they still had a music department, and they had like
the
the little
short-lived.
drum set up. Yeah, and they gave me some sticks, and I was like playing, whatever little basic beats because I'd never played on a drum set before. And this guy that was just there, who was an actual drummer, and he played like he had been playing for many years. And he went and sat at the one next to me and started kind of playing along to what I was playing. So then I started playing along with him, and we were like, whatever. And then there was like a crowd watching, and my dad was watching. My dad's always wanted me to play music. So so after that, and I'm sure I didn't play anything groundbreaking, but after that, my dad was like, oh man, I gotta get you a drum set. And then I think it was like 3 weeks later, he was at a Starbucks, and he was, getting a coffee or whatever, and some guy is talking on the phone like, yeah, I gotta sell this drum set.
Oh, no way.
And my dad just went and sat next to me. He's like, hey, man, I heard you.
I overheard your conversation.
So he, long story short, he got me this really, really shitty $300 drum set that I used for maybe the first 2 years that I played drums with, it was... The cymbals were really basic, but it was like a Neil-Peart, like 5 toms across. Like,
oh, no way.
Yeah.
So it was built to be played.
Yeah. So that's the unlikely story, I guess, from rock band to an actual drum set in about 3 weeks.
That's
just
awesome,
because
man.
I played at Best Buy and my dad.
What year was that around? Like what year?
2010.
2010. That's awesome, man.
2009.
Okay, that for guitar players, funny enough, because 2006 was actually the year that the most guitars were ever sold.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing.
2006. Why?
What album?
Guitar Hero.
Oh.
Guitar Hero was a massive hit, and then that was able to that really put guitar on like a massive, how do I say this? It put it on like a big scale. The word's not coming to me, but
Brand.
yeah, pretty much.
Brand.
And
I think that they can play, I guess.
exactly. Well, a lot of people, they went into Sam Ash and they bought those starter packs and guitar centers. They a lot of parents, wanted to turn that video game thing into like an actual. So yeah, what happened with you with the drums is what happened to a lot of guitar players now. I think a lot of gent and a lot of stuff that comes from today is a lot.
Yeah.
Has a lot to do with
Influenced
those.
by button.
Yeah, by button pressing and complicated
Yeah.
riffs. How difficult things. Like the Through the Fire and Flames thing was like famous for YouTube videos, and everybody used to share their their status and whatever. And then what about you, Nelson?
All right, so I think my story's kind of similar in a way. I was really into Guitar Hero. It's just funny how it got brought up. Okay.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really what got me started. It was like my uncle had a guitar. He got this bad boy Squire, red Squire Affinity, and I was like, oh, I'll try learning some stuff. But that was like in 7th grade. It didn't take me until like sophomore year.
Yeah.
I got an amp. I went to a pawn shop. At the
Nice.
time, and it was actually a bass amp. I don't know what made me not look at it.
That's a cool idea, though. You know what?
Whatever. I started playing with
Innovator.
that. And I was like,
Yes.
no. Oh my god, no.
Was it that bad?
There was no distortion on it, so it was just
Oh, yeah,
clean.
true.
I mean, it had a nice clean.
You know
setting,
what though?
but-
Playing a Strat out of an Ampeg, like out of a.
You know what? It wasn't
Sounds
that
great.
bad.
It
It wasn't
sounds
that
funky.
bad, but it wasn't. I couldn't play distortion. But thank you.
No problem. No
Distortion or
problem.
anything like that. So, me being spoiled, I saw a Gibson Les Paul.
Oh.
I didn't even know how to play that much on guitar, but we went to Guitar Center. I saw a Gibson Les Paul in the used section, and I was like,
How much did it run you?
"Can I get
If you don't mind.
Can I get it?"
How much was that? Because I would like to. If you remember.
Got it at the time for $900.
Okay.
Right?
And that's
It
a good
was-
deal for those
It
guitars.
was a Les
Yeah.
Paul Studio.
I got
you know?
mine for mine was the studio. I got it for $800 and it was on sale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I got it for like $900. That was a pretty good deal. But my mom was like, "If you don't learn guitar, I'm gonna whoop your ass.
We're gonna sell you for $900.
I'll sell you for $900."
hairstyle.
Shout out to my mom. I'm pretty sure she's watching this. Honestly.
That's awesome, man.
Anyways, but that's
So we're
basically it.
so what I'm taking, the coolest takeaway from all this is like, are all your parents like supportive in the music?
Massively, yes.
Right? Everybody?
And my dad.
Mine's half and half. I would consider mine half.
My dad is extreme, to unhealthy degrees.
Oh yeah. He goes around with a GoPro with a little
Oh
microphone.
no! Okay. So
Oh, that's the
this
coolest. Oh, come on.
yeah.
This is the
I
best thing
love
right now.
her dad is literally band dad. Their dads are band dads.
Yeah, I know.
Like they're always there.
My heart is fluttering. I like
His
this.
dad recently added me on Facebook and started sending me Steven Wilson memes. Like
Steven Wilson memes.
It's come on.
That's amazing. Oh my god.
Watching now.
Let me just. Sorry. There's nobody in the chat now. Sometimes I can't tell because sometimes it doesn't update. But we'll check it out. Whatever. Anyway, folks. In the meantime. Having supportive parents is like one of those missing links. I mean, there's people that are. different things motivate different people, you know. So sometimes having that support makes people great, and sometimes not having any at all makes them great.
Yeah.
Who knows? For me, I was thankful enough to have that first guitar that I got. My mom actually got that for me. My best friend at the time got a guitar, and I wanted to get one so bad. This guy was already good at sports, and I was so annoyed because I wasn't good at anything really. I mean, I like to draw a lot, so that was kind of I started doing visual art, and I told my mom once, I was like, yeah, I'd love to learn how to play guitar. And she was like, huh? She's like, if I got you one, like, would you learn?
Yeah.
And a couple of days later, the acoustic came in. I let it sit for 9 months because I didn't have a tuner. So I didn't know what to do with it.
Been there. Yeah.
I didn't even know you had to tune it. Like, I just didn't know. And then picked up a tuner. And the rest was history, man. Played an E minor chord, and it was on.
And it was
The best chord.
And it was on. Once you feel the vibration of the strings just against your body, and you're in that moment, man, that's like one of those corny ass like things you can never take away. You feel like you're in a movie.
You know, as soon as you learn those first 4 chords, the E minor, C, F, D,
Oh,
you
yeah.
feel like fucking Ed Sheeran, dude.
I was
Oh my god, yeah. I remember learning my new metal riffs back in the day. I was learning like Linkin Park songs back in the day. That was it, those chords.
Me, it was Blue Oyster Cult.
Oh man, dude, some of the best lead guitar tone, in my opinion, Blue Oyster Cult. That guy plays Parkers, and they sound amazing.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes. I like their tone. I guess we're getting into the first topic, rock and blues. That's one of and I know that's a very broad, open topic, but it's something that obviously you hear it in your music, and it's something that I love to play a lot. Joe Satriani is my favorite guitar player. And yes, we were going to discuss that. So you were going to say something about Steve Vai.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Paul Gilbert. Where are we going with it?
I love Steve Vai. I geeked over Steve Vai for like a good quarter of my life.
Understandable.
When I was in my freshman year of high school, I listened to a lot of like 80s solo.
She named her
guitar
cat Vi.
I named my cat Vi.
Sweet.
Like just totally fucking like geeked over Steve Vai, and there was always like a whole controversy over like who's better. Like there's always like some sort of like a thing between Joe Satriani and Steve Vai because they both do all the like slidey kind of guitar talk.
Yeah.
Type shit.
I love it.
I was like, fuck Joe Satriani, dog. He has nothing on my boy Steve. Like,
He don't though. He doesn't in technical skill. Never.
I mean, I don't know. I try not to compare them anymore because I feel like
There's
not
no point.
just
They
in
both have their own
players,
style.
but in
Absolutely.
music, everyone serves a different purpose. Like
Definitely.
everyone does their own thing. So, I'd be lying if I didn't say I had like I'd be lying if I didn't say that I had like a bunch of Joe Satriani songs on my phone because I do, because they're like a completely different sound.
Definitely.
But I actually got to meet Steve Vai.
Stop it. Oh my god.
When I was 16, I met Steve Vai. I went to a show in California that he played with Al Di Meola, and it was
I love him.
fucking whack. And I went up to him and
Whack.
Good whack. Like
Oh,
I was like,
good whack.
I was bad whack. Like
Oh.
I like came up to him and I was like, and
Oh, I
he was
thought the show was whack.
no. The show
Oh.
was like
Oh
prestige. Like it was perfect. And
yeah.
and it was so cool because it was in this kind of like people were like eating dinner and it was kind of like this fancy hall.
It's amazing.
It's Al Di Meola. So,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And we were just sitting there and everyone was so relaxed and the stage was like this close and I was like, oh my god. But I got to meet him and like when he was just walking through the people. He was like, what's up? Hey Jerry, like.
It's like, don't you talk to me like you're one of us. You're Steve Vai, damn it.
Literally. And I came up to him and I was like, oh my god. And this woman took me up to him and she's like, oh Steve, this is like a really big fan of yours. And he was like, oh hi, my name is Steve. And I was like,
Yeah, I know, dude.
I named my cat after you, man.
Whoa.
And he was like, cool, my cat's name is Boots. And I was like, for
You just
sure.
became cooler. Ah.
Afterwards, though,
That's
kinda,
amazing.
Like, I came up to him again and I was like, hey, listen, man, like, tell me, like, what is your life philosophy? Like, just tell me about you. I want to get in your brain. And he took me outside because there was this, like, drunk man with a cowboy hat that was kind of, like, pestering
Oh,
him.
no.
So we went outside and he spoke to me and he was like, I'd learned, over this time playing music and meeting all these people, every single person, like either you or me or, whoever else you may have met, a crazy person, anyone, they're just trying to be happy. So we are no one to get in the way of like another person's happiness. Something along those lines. I was literally like tripping out when he was saying that, so like some of it went way past me. I was just kind of like, oh my god,
Steve Vai's talking to me.
Yeah, but he was
That's
just
amazing.
like, yeah, thank you for whatever. So that just has like a special place in my heart, and I cannot say, you know, that I like any other guitar player better than him, because he's just my love. But
Well, I'm positive you know this, but yeah, Joe Satriani was Steve Vai's teacher
yeah,
for a few years. He's also taught Kirk Hammett from Metallica. He taught the guitarist from Primus, and I'm sure more than a few others.
Yeah, there's a pretty big list.
Yeah, there's huge list.
There's
And
a pretty big list.
I love what he does. Why? Because I can remember his music. Like, I remember a lot of Steve Vai songs, don't get me wrong.
yeah.
But when it comes to songs that I can whistle and hum and just take with me in my pocket and,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
fun songs, you know, Joe Satriani definitely gives me that. And I've seen him live 3 times,
Oh shit.
and it was awesome. Yeah, first time I saw him was with Paul Gilbert and John Petrucci for a G3. That was an awesome show. Second time was him and Mountain, which was pretty radical. And the third time was just him by himself, actually. Yeah. There was no opening band.
dang.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it was just him by himself, and that was a good time, too.
Yeah, I love Viva La Vida by Coldplay by Joe Satriani.
Oh my god,
My
that controversy
favorite.
was amazing. I couldn't believe that. I was happy he won that case.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
He won. Nicki
No,
Minaj
Wait,
used.
what happened?
Viva La Vida
Oh, yeah.
is like literally note for note the exact melody of what is it? If I Could Fly.
If I Could Fly.
If I Could Fly.
Joe
by
Satriani.
Satriani.
Yeah, it's a rip.
Won the case?
He did.
Good for him.
That's what I thought. It was kind of crazy to me, you know, plagiarism and stuff like that. How do you guys think you guys would handle that as a band? If you guys heard a riff that was like, oh shit, that's totally us.
Isn't there
Is
like
it more
a-
popular than our song?
Sure.
Or, yeah.
Like, it also matters the way they do it. If it's just straight up just copying the song.
Because if like
well,
Cardi B,
you
like,
Yeah,
Something
right.
Interesting with
I
the
know that
Coldplay
there's
thing
some
is-
like law where it's like if a song copies
3
around like
notes, like-
70%
it's
or
a sequence. It's a sequence of notes within a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing about the Coldplay thing is that none of them read music. I think like is a thing. So I feel
They
like
don't.
if they did it, they probably did it by accident. Like they
Probably,
heard
yeah.
it and
Yeah.
just recreated it and ran with it. And the song was a huge hit and it backfired.
It doesn't, but that's the thing. It's like a note for note melody. Like you could hear that it's the same. Like that's why it like shocked me because it's so similar. It's the
Yeah.
exact same
Yeah, but it
melody.
could
I
be
was
something
like,
that
what?
he fell asleep with headphones in and heard it in his sleep and his body
Woke up with it.
incubated it and was like, all right, I'm gonna regurgitate it tomorrow.
And you
in the
can't say you
studio."
don't know Joe Satriani.
Has that ever happened to you guys where like you made a riff and then you heard it somewhere else like the next day? Obviously, and you know it wasn't plagiarized, but
I
it was
made a
kind of
riff
like,
that
oh.
sounded like another one of my riffs.
So you
I was
ripped
like,
yourself?
We can't
That was a
play
tough
that.
lawsuit.
That's amazing.
No, I kind of
To
try
watch
to.
Liz run from each stand.
Me fighting with myself as usual, but like I really try to kind of get my music going from a really like clean place where I know that nothing, like for example, if I'm listening to like a certain artist a lot that particular week, I'm like, let's write against this, like let's work against this and
Oh,
let
cool.
me try to like pull something from a different direction, or else it's like I don't want there to be a heavy, like, lingering influence, because then it's just boring. You know what I mean? It's easy. Like, if I'm listening to a lot of AC/DC that week, I'm just like, fuck yeah, like 3 chords up the ass. Like, that's it, guys. We're gonna write an anthem.
Give me a steady
like,
drum beat.
Yeah,
4 on the floor.
dog, like, yeah, but I mean,
One bass note.
I love it. Yeah.
yeah.
Dunk, gunk, gunk.
one note. It's like we're playing, what's it called? Long time.
I love it. That's awesome, man. So Steve Vai, that's like your musical dad, you would say?
He's definitely, yeah.
Everybody has music dads.
But also,
Satriani's
like,
my music dad.
I love a lot of Steves. I love Stevie Ray Vaughan, obviously.
He's great. He's awesome.
My God. And I love,
Cool guitar tone.
I still don't know his name. I think it's like Eric Valentine or something. The guitar player for Maroon 5. I think.
Oh, the one that plays Music Man guitars? The one that has like the ones that look like Strats?
I don't know. I've never researched him, but
I actually just followed him today, so
Oh,
that's
really?
why I'm even because
Yeah.
somebody posted a picture of his guitar, and I clicked on it, and it was the guy from Maroon 5.
Yeah, no, so I just think Songs About Jane, it's on my like top 10 most perfect albums ever written.
It's
Because
amazing.
it's fucking mind blowing. So his guitar work on that is just so perfect.
It is
Like
good.
it's like everything, the timing, everything is fucking amazing. And you know, he's so like melodically and everything like that. I just think he's
Okay,
a
cool.
master.
Maroon 5, that's a sleeper because a lot of people I'm sure would not pay attention to.
Yeah.
You know, Adam Levine takes up so much camera
I
space.
mean,
Oh my
there
God.
used stuff is pretty pop oriented, but if you really look at their older stuff, it's phenomenal.
Like
the Harder to Breathe album.
Yeah, Harder to Breathe.
That was a riff though. Gang, gang. Everybody remembers those chords, right? Those open up the song.
We recently listened to that album when we were making curry.
Yeah,
not too long ago.
I was
sweet.
like, I gotta listen to this whole album, dog.
And the funniest thing is
when
that
we were
I
making
didn't.
curry.
Hell yeah,
that's
dude.
awesome.
I didn't know that I knew every song from that album.
Oh,
it's
snap.
that kind
I
of
love
an
that.
album where like the songs just click and you're like, holy shit, like
It's
I've
like
heard
hit
this
after
before.
hit
It's
after
hit
hit
after
after
hit. It's a perfect album.
That's pretty awesome, man. I gotta give Maroon 5 a little bit more of a listen because sometimes Adam Levine just gets in my ear too much, and I'm like,
his lyrics
gotta pull 'em
also
out.
are so just like they're okay. Nothing compared to like the inappropriate, just like grotesque quality of modern day lyrics. But back then, like the way he would describe like just like having sex with a woman in his songs was so like
kind of gross.
like a lot. Like it's like someone going up to a microphone and going
Nah,
like that's what it sounds like to me. It's
his lyrics are like the embodiment of his tattoo collection, like basically
literally like it's
sleazy as possible.
There's a big California.
Oh no, California! And all of California looked down in shame. Oh my God, Adam Levine, just hit the showers. God damn it. Anyway. So Paula, who is your music dad? Who's an artist that you kind of or mother? Come on.
No, Paul
2019.
Paul McCartney.
you're
Oh,
gonna say
Dr. McCartney.
Yeah, no, Paul McCartney, man.
So
He's
Paul.
such an inspiration to me. I was named after Paul McCartney,
Stop
as I
it.
will say
That's awesome.
every time that's in the conversation.
Let's talk about the painting.
So can you? I mean, so the painting. Oh, all right. What is the painting?
You should have brought it.
I have a picture
Oh
of
my
it.
God.
Read every podcast.
Oh, you know I'm gonna bring it up in the edits.
So pretty much when I was like 5 years old, or no, not 5, I was like 6 or 7, I was already in school. My dad takes me in the car, it was like around my birthday, and he's like, listen, I got this huge surprise for you, you're gonna love it. And I'm like, great. There's this big box in his car, he takes it out, we're ready to go home. And he's like, okay, like, this is your surprise. Like, I've worked so hard on this. I found an artist to paint you and the Beatles. And I was just like, what?
This is amazing.
He takes it out of the box, and it's this, like, beautiful Da Vinci-esque, like, I'll show you it. It's this Da Vinci-esque, like, modern, like, portrait of me and the Beatles with Ringo Starr holding my shoulder.
Ringo's eyes follow you.
All of their eyes follow me, dude. I got you with that picture, dude.
It's like Illuminati's like subliminals in the painting.
I always have
A
to have
pure
it on my
There's
Renaissance.
phone.
actually a code written on the back symbolizing the exact date that we're all gonna die.
Oh my
Like it's
Yeah,
God.
just doomsday written on
All
the
of
back.
their eyes line up with the pyramid.
It's kind of blurry, but kind of blurry, but
Oh my God, what are we looking at? This is the most amazing thing in the world.
Actually pretty
What
good,
is
though.
going on? This looks like a photograph.
5-year-old Paula right there, dude.
This is the coolest thing. Can we just like put it up to the camera just for the hell of it? Just
I wasn't even looking.
I don't even know. But
Oh shit, Matthew!
Oh, that's Matthew. Matthew
Hey.
is actually our first drummer.
From
Oh.
Without
Gravity.
Gravity. What's
Shout
up,
out to Matthew
I
Hanamov.
love you.
Your replacement's here, babe.
Thanks. Oh no. Well, you guys can work. You guys can have your Mortal Kombat moment later.
Matthew would beat the fuck out of me. He's,
Oh no.
he's all.
He's been hitting the ropes more. He's been
I think so.
he's been drinking the Gatorade. That's kind of awesome. So Paul McCartney is that guy for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So you know what? This would be a cool time. Now, it's no secret that the Beatles are really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I never really listened to them too much. I didn't really listen to them much growing up, just because
Okay.
I was just busy listening to other stuff.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? So can you sell me on the Beatles? Like, if you know what I mean? Like, if somebody was like,
Oh man,
What's-
this is like my duty in life right here.
yes, please sell, or me and anybody else at home. And Matthew says, nah, I love Juan. And he sent you a heart. Thank you, man.
The thing with the Beatles, I mean, I feel like kind of have to be raised on it. Like I was completely raised on it, as you can tell. So
I
for me,
disagree.
I mean, yeah, no, you can.
It's just easier if you're raised on
For
it.
me, I don't know. But anyways, to sell you on it.
Give it away.
Hell yeah. To sell you on it, I feel like they're kind of the foundation of that type of music, or I guess pop music in general, because they were the pop of that time. And I feel like music would be in such a different direction if it wasn't for the amazing work that the Beatles have done. I mean, every album is so versatile. They brought so much to the table in terms of, like, you know, types of music, and they've theatrical albums. I mean, Sgt. Pepper is a genius album, and one of, I don't want to say one of the first, but a huge, you know, progress in theatrical rock albums.
It probably was one of the first. I mean, they didn't they start multi-track recording?
Yeah.
You know, and distortion. Didn't they kind of come up with that?
What's it called? Like phasers,
right? Effects, because they were just goofing off in the studio, right? Breaking shit.
They did like spring reverb. That was them. But well, okay. To be fair, with the Beatles, it's kind of tricky because they're such a massive band. Like everyone and their mother knows the Beatles, you know? So it's like, it's hard because it's hard to connect with them unless you're raised on it, obviously, like on a personal level. Like what do the Beatles mean to you? Because for me, I think the greatest band of all time is Rush. Like I'm a huge Rush fan.
I need to listen to more Rush as well. I haven't heard a lot.
It's like I can connect with them. Like they're such geeks. They're like the D&D of rock music. You know what I mean? So it's like I look at them and I'm like, these guys are awesome. But with the Beatles, it's hard for me at least to understand who they are as people because they're so big. They're like gods in our world. You know what I mean? So it's like they're literal demigods. So it's like. For me, I only got into them in high school, and I was like, I should probably listen to more of this, and I started off with the songs that I know, and I was like, what do I appreciate about this? And then I kept going into the albums that I like more. I actually recently, like maybe my junior year, found out that Rubber Soul is my favorite album.
Rubber Soul?
Rubber Soul, yeah. I never thought that it would be, but it just like touched me on a new level, and I listened to the whole album and I was like, damn, this is so good. And it's like, you really have to sit down with one of maybe like, I really like their cleaner arrangement type things, like Something off of Abbey Road, like something in the way she moves. If you like sit down and listen to that, it's just so fucking...
So do you put yourself in the time, you know, do you put yourself in the 60s, you know, when they were making music, when you listen to it, or do you listen to it today and relate it to what you go through today?
I feel like the reason why they have made it, or I guess the reason why they're still so popular to this day, is that a lot of their songs can still relate to like our time. I feel like the songs don't grow old. For example, I was watching the James Corden Carpool Karaoke with Paul McCartney when that came out with my family. We all sat on the TV, watched it as a family. Cool. Paul McCartney is performing Let It Be to like a crowd that didn't know he was going to be performing. It was like some like random bar.
What?
And I literally, me, my dad, and my mom were all like tearing up. The entire crowd is like going nuts. It was just like such like a tear-jerking moment because the lyrics are still so relevant, you know, like
they're just very simple and powerful, and it's really difficult in this time right now because even with the band right now, when I write lyrics or when I write music, I'm like, guys, this is gonna be like, I think about it, and if it's too sappy or too kind of like honest or something, I kind of go into this place where I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so lame. Like, this is gonna be like too like out there, too personal. Like, we live in a time right now where it's, if you pour your heart out onto a record, it's like, okay, we're desensitized now.
Yeah, we are.
But you listen to those songs and they're just so honest. They don't have to say much, you know, but it says everything at the same time. Exactly. And that's why, and it's like, they could have only thrived in that period, you know what I mean? There was a time for the Beatles. There's a reason why they happened then. They were supposed to, you know?
Right.
So it's cool. I'm really happy that we can appreciate them now, because it, you know, it still applies. Human life is human life. We're always going to feel the same emotions and be susceptible to, you know, the same things.
Absolutely,
so it's
right.
just,
Are you guys Beatles fans? Do you guys listen to the Beatles?
I'm like you, where I didn't really listen to them much.
Mom listens to Fall Out Boy.
Well, those are your Beatles.
Oh man,
That's my boy band.
Okay, cool.
I do like the Beatles though. Not everything that I've heard, but a lot of their songs, I think are good. I just don't go out of my way to listen to them.
I'm in the same boat as Juan. Like, I can appreciate them, but I haven't had the chance or time to like listen and actually like go through their albums and like.
They are amazing. I don't think I ever hear a song and I'm just like, change this. Like, that's never been.
It's perfect. They don't have a single bad song.
No,
It's insane.
it's good songwriting, but they were also
Submarine's pretty
Reptiles?
wild.
their songwriting.
For sure.
Reptiles.
How
Is that a song?
Reptilians, like how?
Oh, they are reptiles. Okay.
Like how else would they
The
write
Anunnaki.
all those hits? I don't. Literally the Anunnaki. Like how did this happen? Like literally grays from space.
They're from Nibiru.
Nibiru. Get out.
Oh God! Don't.
Have you been watching spirit science videos on YouTube?
My sister and her husband, I think, are I guess they are the type to sit you down and start watching those videos.
Shit, here we go again.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It was a good time while it was a good time, but like I don't linger on those videos.
Let's talk about black holes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and let's talk about Rihanna and how they're just they're dying to she's shape-shifting in videos to.
Let's talk about how all of Bruvvy is actually just like a big reptilian family.
Cool, man. Radical. Reptiles are rad. So Juan, who is your music dad, man? Your music drum dad. I gotta stop saying dad.
I started with Neil Peart from Rush. My dad tells me stories. I was 2 years old and he would be playing Rush like on his speakers, and I would stand in front and like dance and stuff, to that.
Today's Tom
But
Sweet.
yeah. And I think the first drummer that I really like, that I was like, I love this guy, and that I started actually understanding what he did, and I think gave me a lot of my inspiration as a drummer is Mike Portnoy from
Dream
he used
Theater.
to be in Dream Theater.
Yeah.
And it also gave me like a big, because he left Dream Theater in 2010, I think it was, and the band had like such a seismic shift in the sound and the quality of music, in my opinion at least, that that's when I realized, I was like, okay, a drummer's style can really affect the music, the band as a whole. And that's why a lot of the songs that we play, I kind of stick to my own thing. I don't try to like branch out of what I know I can make sound good, and I don't try and like overplay, because I think that's like the most important thing for the song. Like Liz's favorite catchphrase is "serve the song," which is the Maroon 5 guy. Like advice, and it's true. And so I realized, like, okay, if I'm trying to not sound like myself and my style, the band's not gonna sound like itself. So it kind of gave me that awakening.
That's good.
It opened my third drumming eye. And,
Third eye.
My third eye.
Leg.
Third leg. The eye on the third leg. But that's amazing.
It leaves from time to time.
Oh no, the Cyclops, the Plankton. But that's amazing, man.
Shout out to Creature Cage. Cyclops.
Creature Cage. Oh man. Give me 1 second. He probably wants to use his litter box on my cat. I'm sure. It's funny. Half of these episodes have my cat meowing in the background. Swear to God. By the time this,
The litter box.
I thought you were doing have you ever seen The Dictator, the Sacha Baron Cohen movie?
No.
Okay, well, he has a thing where like he always does this like neck thing, and like whenever anything goes wrong, they like kill whoever it is. I thought you looked at your girlfriend and you were like, hey,
dispose of him.
Could you?
Oh man.
Not in front of us. Not on camera.
Oh my God, I love him too much to wipe him out, to rub him out. Nelson, your musical parent.
That's that question to follow, and I've been thinking about it ever since, and I still can't get one person. But I do have a couple.
Who's the dopest?
What do you say?
I'm my own music.
You're your own father.
I am my own father, guys.
Nothing, no last name.
Bruvvy vibes.
What if Star Wars had that? It's like you are
capital O.
You are your own father.
So
It's like no.
All right, well, but I do have a couple of people I look up to, and I've like looked at how they played, and they really like changed, if anything, for the better. Like like
Lil Wayne.
My performance.
Was it the Jonas guy? I forgot.
Nick
Jonas.
Jonas, baby.
With that telly.
I can do that too.
Just killing it, just yamming on him.
There's I gotta say Alan Holdsworth. Heard of him?
The mastermind.
Yes, I love him.
He's real
Greg
good.
Howe.
Greg Howe is amazing, or Howie, or how?
Howie,
He's
Howie,
amazing.
I would say Howie. I don't know what other way. No, it'd be Greg Howie. No,
He's
if
amazing.
anything, that's how I always pronounce it.
He's amazing, man.
But I love his work.
Yeah.
Really love it. There's David Gilmour.
David Gilmour's cool.
David Gilmour.
The bending extraordinaire.
That's exactly what I love to do.
My uncle says, my uncle believes David Gilmour is the best guitarist in the world because he says he doesn't play the most notes, but he plays all the right notes.
Oh, well,
I mean, yeah.
that's Satriani for me.
That's a way to play it. Like, and I always bend. You guys always complain I'm always breaking my strings. So, you know.
Oh my god, every show.
check it out. We got UFC down here.
Hell yeah.
We got UFC. We got Masvidal down here.
Yo, did you watch that shit?
What was there to watch?
Wait, did you watch it? I really wanted Ben Askren.
Cowboy forever. We will never
shut
forget. We will never forget.
Look at him. Look at
His loss must
riffs.
be avenged.
He was cheated.
Ow.
They
Okay, stop.
injected blood into his eye.
Oh
And
my
I'm
god.
a huge UFC fan. Like,
Real-
I'm
that's
kind
rad.
of like dragging them into it.
That's fun.
And then Juan and I always root against.
And always
against
Whatever
person.
I do, yeah.
always
Just adding the friction to the room. I love it.
My
You gotta
boy
do that.
Cowboy.
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 I swear his loss
Shout
will
out
be
to
avenged.
Tony Ferguson.
That reminds me of the Kid Rock song, Cowboy. The terrible song.
Cowboy.
Yeah, oh my god, Christ Almighty. Yeah, but my musical dads, man. I know I've said Satriani a million times. Definitely him. I love Guthrie Govan. He's just Guthrie Govan is Guthrie's a baller from day one.
He is a god, and he is so intelligent, and I love listening to him.
Yeah, he's got that cool thing that like that you know, like I don't know how to describe it. You ever see him in interviews? He does that thing where he blinks, like kind of funky.
Yeah, totally. Like, you mean
Yes,
ADHD?
Tourette's.
Yeah,
Or
I don't know what that is, but
Yeah.
anybody who's amazing at stuff does that for some reason. I don't know what the pattern is.
Might be
I'm
a
gonna
good
start
one.
doing it now.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It'll be amazing.
I'm gonna be like,
Can we
That's
demonstrate?
literally.
I'm getting better at guitar.
I think it's straight up ADHD. Like, it's
just
nothing
like
having to do with you.
Stress. It's stress. It's a tick. Yeah.
That's all. Guthrie, man. Guthrie's amazing. I love Paul Gilbert. He's one of my favorite guitar teachers. Like Paul Gilbert, if you look at his tutorial videos, he just has some of the
Gilbert is the electric
with the drill.
drill thing.
Yeah, the guy that has the drill.
Making sure, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I forgot he did that. Yeah, that's so true. He's amazing, man. Cause he did one of these amazing lessons that changed my life. That when you're trying to make a riff and you have no drummer with you, it's just you jamming by yourself. You can use the bottom three strings, the heavy ones, as a kick drum, and use the top three strings as a snare, and you can kind of do a drum beat, like, you know, with those three. You can play rhythmically. It's easier to show than say it. But and then
getting into 80s guitar players.
Kind of.
Like, let me whip out Marty Friedman and Jason Becker.
Marty Friedman follows the podcast on Instagram. I don't know why. Yeah, he's
What?
super crazy. Yeah.
Marty, hit me up.
Yes, Marty Friedman is amazing, and he's a really cool dude.
He's amazing, and I also Jason Becker. Shout out to my
Jason
boy.
Becker's amazing.
Love him.
Serrano arpeggios. I remember seeing that video with my best friend back in the day, and just I couldn't even hear what was going on, but it was just amazing.
Yeah.
So, or just the sweeping. It's so difficult.
No, Marty has like one of my favorite tones by far.
Really?
In that, yeah, it's
Twangy.
Just so like. I remember there was this one
Awesome.
video of him playing. Damn, I'm not sure. I have it somewhere in my likes, and it just sounds so like thick and crunchy, you know.
Oh no! Don't get on the mixer, buddy. We're live at the moment. He's turning on us all.
Like, bitch, don't touch me.
He's turning on us all. Oh, there he goes. Oh, cool.
He's about to.
Of course.
He's like, am I doing the right thing, Dad?
Oh my goodness. All right.
Alright, I'm just gonna
Time to step in.
have a beer for this.
Time to step in. I'm sorry, buddy. You're the nicest guy in the world. Come on, let's go. I love you too.
He's like, did I do good job?
Let me just look at the mixer. Make sure.
I don't think he moved anything.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, make sure. Sometimes he presses the on button a lot.
See, oh yeah, cause see, it says no upside down. So you were like, hey, no, and he was like, no.
Okay, cool. Should be good to go. Hey guys, we're back. We were talking about guitar players. I'm a huge Carlos Santana fan. I love him. He these days, it's funny, man. Seeing a lot of these guitar players play these days, like the newer, younger guitar players, they're really good. They're really fast. Honestly, dude, I started up a music page for my Instagram, and I got discouraged after like a month or two of just doing it consistently because like you follow more and more players, and they just do the most amazing things. Oh, you've got some input in the convo? You know, just seeing other players that just are incredible and fast and do these techniques so flawlessly. My God, man.
Fuck pickup jazz, dude.
Start pickup jazz?
Fuck pickup jazz. I'm about to boycott pickup jazz. I can't.
Sharky.
It's like, it's just such a, they like monopolized like the music scene on Instagram. I couldn't believe it because when I'm not playing with these guys, like I play jazz and I write like pop jazz stuff. So
oh, no way.
When
oh my God.
I was always like you know, uploading like Instagram videos because it's like when you don't have a band and you're not doing anything, that's kind of what you do. You do that and see if anyone's gonna put you on a page or something and, you know, get discovered. That's how you do it. No labels anymore, you know, it's that. So it's like, I was doing that for a while consistently, and I have a really good friend, his name's Christmas, where he got onto the Pickup Jazz page, like was really huge on there, but it's just so many people, especially singers, sound the same on there. And I was like, you're obviously, like, there's obviously a favorite, and that's obviously what you're trying. It's like they're
Who do they sound like? Like, is it like back in the day when people wanted to sing and then everybody sounded like Amy Lee from Evanescence?
Yes, but
it's like, oh, I could sing, and then they sing Bring Me to Life.
Like, imagine, have you ever seen a girl doing a cover of Redbone by Childish Gambino? That... Except everyone ever on Instagram.
I'm sorry, guys. That was really fun.
That's
one
the
of those
whole
1,000 vocalists sing along to Redbone at the same time. You know what I'm talking about?
Like,
there's like it's like a certain type of singer that like you can tell they usually practice somewhere over the rainbow.
Yeah. It's just it
Anyway.
was not a thing, and it took me a while to get out of that bubble and be like, hey, like you don't have to do that, you know, because it's difficult when you see like. These are the people that people want to listen to, especially when they release their own music, even though it kind of all starts sounding similar. And Pickup Jazz has released so many amazing artists that I wouldn't have known otherwise that release amazing music. But a lot of them, it's just like...
So sorry. He attacked you?
Yeah, I saw it.
Jesus.
I was like, oh, God.
It's Juan has the Peter tingle. He
Oh,
knows.
that's hilarious. Oh, Peter.
What did I do?
Oh my God, sorry, man. He likes you the most. That's why he likes all you guys. That's why he's pestering. He goes one by one too. The worst part is that we don't even know what he wants. Like I don't even know. Like what he has food. He's got these litter boxes, super clean. What more could there be to life?
Replace Nelson.
Yeah, what more? Yeah, what more is there to life? Do you guys have pets at home? Is that a thing?
I got dogs and cats in my house, but my cats are. That'd be cute if they were like
Really
that. But
wants
they
your
really
attention,
aren't.
dude.
Yeah, he likes it.
I'm a
dude.
rodent mom, or was.
Whoa.
I had a little mouse named Debbie, but she died because she had a tumor on her back.
Oh,
R.I.P.
yeah.
Rip.
Shout out to Debbie.
Shout out to Debbie, dog. I hope you're resting easy. She's
Right.
a real
Real
one. No,
On
on
that-
God though, on Jaw, like for real.
God bless, man. God bless. Real
On
good.
X, dog, on
On
X.
Jaw.
Yeah, shout out to.
I used to have a big, super cute boxer.
Oh,
He
sweet.
passed because he got old.
Oh,
Yeah, that was like 3 years ago.
well, still. Oh,
He's attacking me.
oh no. You know he's my.
Don't talk about other pets.
Yeah, it's like there can be no other. He's actually my first pet,
Oh,
so to speak of.
really?
Yeah, I never had one before. He's the first one.
How's that going?
Adorable.
Really cool. Really cool. They teach you about love. They do, because you know, because he's really little. Like when I got him, he was so little. Like I had to feed him with a bottle
Yeah.
when I got him. Like you know, and you
And
have
then he got bigger, and you were like, "Damn, I still gotta love him."
yeah. Unfortunately, right?
I
No,
love
he's
them when they're big.
yeah. No, he's
Big
awesome.
fluffy
Yeah, you
cats,
do.
dude. Yes, I do.
Hey. Cats. Pet
I had a
smart.
hermit crab for 2 days.
Whoa.
And my mom returned it to the store.
Oh no.
It's such a
Returned it.
pet.
What happened?
My friend got me a hermit crab for my birthday because I've never had a pet and I was always complaining about that.
Oh, that's
and then the
amazing.
hermit crab like clawed my finger
Whoa.
and my mom returned
Crabs
it the
do
next
that?
day.
Wow.
It like boop,
Jeez.
and I was just like, all right, sweet.
Got to live that experience, right?
Yeah.
Cool, man. Hermit
Yeah.
crabs. No, pets teach you a lot, man. Like I remember, I used to have him sleeping next to my pillow because he was so tiny. Like I'd have to feed him. You have to feed him every 3 hours. Like they're so little.
Yeah.
You gotta feed him like 2, 3 hours.
Yeah.
Gotta wake up. Literally gotta make formula. It's like having a fucking baby. You gotta make formula. You gotta burp him. To burp him.
What?
You gotta burp the cat. You gotta burp cats.
They don't just vomit on your floor.
Thank God, no.
They don't just do that.
Yeah, he might have if it wasn't on my shoulder, I guess. But yeah, no, you gotta burp them. You gotta do all you gotta.
Do they make the little?
Yeah, they do. Kind of. Yeah, it's like a little, like it's kind of like, it's like I don't know what I'm doing. This is gross. And then you gotta make them pee.
What? You have to, you have to stimulate the glands.
The area, yeah.
Fuck.
Area 51.
That's Area 51.
It is Area
That's the
51.
Bermuda Triangle right there.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
That is triangular trade. It is not good. No. That you gotta make him pee. You gotta, I remember seeing his first poop. It was monumental. It was monumental.
Just have a child, literally easier.
Dude,
They
it was
do that
funny.
themselves,
I remember seeing his first poop and thinking, my boy, my boy's grown up. His face shit.
My boy's face shit.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Oh no, you started with the
accent.
Yiddish accent, dude. It's over now. The entire show, I'm never gonna stop.
That's why, honestly, in the Rugrats, that's why Tommy's grandparents are the best characters. Have you guys familiar with the Rugrats? You guys watch Rugrats?
Of course.
Now the grandparents were the best. To me, all the parents were the best. Like Dexter's Laboratory, the dad was amazing. The dad, the episode where he falls, like he has like the muffin obsession. Do you guys have seen that episode?
What?
Yeah, Dex.
I remember Omelette du Fumage.
Oh my God! Say it again, Dexter.
I've probably seen like every episode too, and that's the only one I remember.
Oh, I love Dexter's Laboratory. He had a poster of the Power Rangers in his room. If you look at it, yeah, there's the actual Power Rangers. Yeah, no, that was a great show, man. I grew up. Now, this really doesn't matter, but it's just a fun conversation because we're talking about shows and things. So it's like, how young are you guys? Or young or old, whatever that means to you guys. Dee Dee. What does this button do? Yeah, Dee Dee. There was Mandark. That was actually one of my favorite shows because.
What now? This is still the same?
Dexter's Laboratory.
Oh wow! I never watched Dexter's Laboratory.
What did you guys grow up on some cartoons? Like what was
Hey
the
Arnold.
Oh, that's one of the best ones.
Hated Hey Arnold.
I'm trying to remember.
Really?
I mean, I think for me it was like SpongeBob was such a huge.
SpongeBob too.
Well, it's tough. Once you have SpongeBob, I mean, it's pretty
Like
great.
you don't need anything.
You
else.
don't really need
I
much
haven't
more.
watched Cartoon Network in like forever, so
There's no reason to.
Like I'm having like a blank. There's Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
That was a
good
cool
show.
That was a really good one.
The Jamaican Grim Reaper.
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh, Courage was wild.
Return the slab.
Oh, that episode. That episode stayed with everyone.
You know which one stayed with me? The gerbil one.
I don't remember
Where
that.
they're like drinking
with the like jet ski chase at the end, and it's like this weird music. It traumatized me, I think.
I don't remember that one bit.
Oh man, don't watch it.
I think I like astral projected while watching Courage the Cowardly Dog. Like I left my body.
What influences the songwriting? You think any of those shows and movies and things that you guys watch growing up, does that have anything to do with Bruvvy these days? Like, I'm sure it does because that builds your personality. But like, is there any have you guys written any songs about like a TV show, like like a movie or anything weird like that? How does that work? Because I mean, I know that falls under influences, right?
I think like low key though, I've always wanted to be Drake Parker from Drake and Josh.
Oh, is that his name?
Yeah.
Oh, in the
Drake.
Okay.
Drake Parker.
Yeah.
Man,
So
I
that's
love
what I
Drake
try
and
to
Josh. That is
Literally
a really good show.
So good.
That show does not deserve to be that good.
It's hilarious. It's actually hilarious. All the shows made by what's his name, Dan Schneider.
Oh yeah, iCarly.
Genius. And actually, okay.
This is iCarly.
You have
This
to,
is literally iCarly.
You have to. I'm giving. You have to listen to. You have to listen to the theme, the Drake and Josh theme, because the backgrounds are too perfect. It scares me. Like,
The
when he
background.
goes like, when you open up your mind, and then the background's like, see what's inside. It's literally like a 7-part harmony.
Yeah, it's
and
huge.
it's all perfectly in sync, and I was like, huh, like, how? What is that? And I like honed in on it one day, and I was like, how? how the fuck did that happen? And all the theme songs are like that. Like Dan Schneider's he's like making them do ketamine for sure. Like, I don't know how, but it was.
Doesn't
amazing.
he have like a foot fetish? Isn't that his?
Oh no!
I hope so.
Does he?
Yeah,
That's what
a
I-
lot of shows have
No.
like
That was
this
like
thing
a
with
thing.
like
I don't
girls
think so.
Are you sure?
or some shit. I don't know.
Let's not talk about it.
Let's not talk about it. Yeah. But that's a thing out there. You can Google it. That's how.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can attack me all you want. Don't attack other people.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I definitely like took on a lot of like personalities when it came to those shows or like some movies that I watched. Like to this day I watch any movie with Russell Brand in it and I'm like, I'm him.
Hell yeah.
Like I just try to embody him.
think
Get
I've
him
seen
to the
anything.
Greek, I'm like, let's do heroin. Like I love Russell Brand and especially I remember leaving the movie theater like when I was a kid and like seeing Nancy Drew. Remember when Nancy Drew with
I never watched Nancy Drew.
what's her face? The girl from American Horror Story. I forget her name.
Emma Roberts. Yeah.
Emma Roberts was in like a Nancy Drew spin-off and they played it like it was they played it in like movies in cinemas or whatever and
In the cinema.
in the cinema.
That's awesome.
And
Got real British for
that's
got
like-
real
that's-
Bruvvy for a
that's
second.
my Europeanness coming out. That's my like I have a green card ass coming out.
In the cinema.
But like
Oh.
I went to eat after watching that movie, and there was a scene where she like organized her food. Like she laid down a napkin and she got shit out of her like bento box or whatever and organized it. I went to eat and I did the exact same shit.
Oh.
Like that's I feel like especially when you're a kid, you know what I mean? Shit like that affects you. Like you
Yeah,
want to
totally.
embody that personality because it's
In all, yeah. No,
it's Russell Brand and
That's
and
huge.
Drake Parker. There you go.
I don't think I've ever heard it that way. That you want to embody that personality because it's completely what it is.
Yeah.
That's how I was with the Ninja Turtles movie. In the 90s. I wish I was kidding. I wish I was fucking kidding. I know. I saw the movie and I was like, you know what? This is how to live.
I was the same way with Spider-Man when I watched
Yeah.
it for the first time. I was like,
Which one?
I want to be Tobey Maguire.
Oh, Toby. Yeah.
I was like such a so badass. I feel like watching superhero movies even to this
I'm
day.
so high. Oh my
But I
god.
feel like
Yeah. Oh the
I
hell.
used to have
The other dude comes in.
Spider-Man 1 VHS, and I would sit to the entire credits just to watch that Nickelback video.
Oh my
Hell
god.
yeah,
Dude, I taped it. I
dude.
taped it back in the day. VHS, taped it. I was a real sucker.
I feel like whenever we're playing a show or whatever, or just any artist in general, whenever they are performing on stage, it really is a performance. Like you're trying to embody a character that you feel confident in. When I'm on stage, I'm a completely different person than
Oh, for
I
sure.
am, in real life.
Cool, man.
So I feel like everyone tries to embody that certain character that they perceive to be, like cool and confident.
Yeah.
That's true, right? Like on stage, it's not necessarily who you want to be, but in a way, if you know what I'm trying to say. Like,
Yeah, it's how you want to present yourself to other people.
Exactly.
yeah, it's like the energy you want to put out.
I'm a sweaty mess.
Aren't we all?
That's my projection.
How are the live shows? That was one of the topics we wanted to talk about tonight. How are you guys liking the live show environment?
Better and better.
I think-
It's awesome. The few that I've had that I have to get used to are the ones that are outside in
Oh, yeah.
Oh
weather.
shit.
Dude,
It's
it's
like,
been so hot
Not only
lately.
am I dying, my guitar wants to die and untune itself completely.
Oh
At
man,
the end of the show, we
And
just like are
I'm sweating so
yeah.
much where like I'm literally slipping on my own
that third string must be
That's why
going
you gotta
nuts.
get that satin neck, dude.
Sometimes you see me with like an
I feel
actual
you.
towel, like in the Churchills. Like we
Yeah.
perform at Churchills. I had a towel.
Whoa,
Wipe it every time because like I swear I was playing and like I couldn't
that's crazy,
do
man.
anything.
That
Seriously.
same show, I wore this exact shirt.
Yeah.
and
So
was
sorry.
No, you're
dying.
fine. No worries.
That's crazy, man. Well, yeah, for any guitar players, I mean, it's funny because I love gloss necks, but I don't play live, so it's like, oy, like that would probably kill me,
It'd
dude.
be okay if it's
Right?
indoors, but like outdoors, it's a different story.
man.
It's insane. We played
I mean, honestly, we're like, I'm okay with it. It's just, I guess I gotta get used to it. I guess.
Nah, dude, by the time we were
Endurance.
done with our show at church was outside, me and Liz literally
I was
thought we were gonna have a stroke.
done. I was done.
Cause the thing is, like, we're not musicians that just stand around and play and stuff like that. Like, we love
Yeah,
to
Paula
really
and I
get
just
into it,
fucking-
and we give
Gotta
it
go
our
ahead.
all, and by the end of it, we want to die.
Paul
It's
and I
awesome.
do this stupid shit every single show.
Oh, dude,
I don't know
okay.
why, when it started, I don't know what the hell. We essentially like we have the song called NGL, and we like there's like a build up. And during the build-up, we start, like, squatting down and, like, making intense eye contact.
Yeah, until, like, we're on the floor.
Until we're, like, on the floor, and we're just doing that. And I told Paula, I'm like, listen, like, we might as well just, like, gossip, tell each other, like, what's up while we're down there, because otherwise there's no point. And when we do that, after when we get up, I get the worst head rush every single time. Because I'm jumping up with the full weight of my guitar, and then I just have to go directly back into singing.
That's intense.
And that's the point where it starts going downhill for me. Like, after the show, like, at that point,
That's
I'm
song
like,
number
oh,
two,
God.
That is song number 2.
Every show, and I just start dying. Like, after that point, I have to recuperate. Thank God there's, like, a part in our set where I put the guitar down and I'm just on the mic. Because if we didn't have that part, like, I would not.
Yeah,
That's hilarious, man. Any intense, mistakes or power cutting out or any goofy stuff like that? I'm sure those things happen.
You mentioned it earlier. I've had it. I've gone to Guitar Tech, so like.
I've gone to a Guitar Tech.
It's
been monitored now.
But because like I forgot what it was, the issue they mentioned, but my guitar strings would pop every 3 days.
Whoa.
Like just because it just wanted to. Now it's been at least durating like a month, but because of that one little area of like popping every 3 days, there was like two or three shows that we had where like my string was like popping.
It wouldn't. I feel like it wouldn't even pop. It would like pull out of the.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It wasn't
Yeah.
like a pop. It was a stretch. Like
Whoa.
it was. It was always the
It was has something to do with your nut, right?
Yeah.
But that led to the best Bruvvy moment of all time. Because our first show we met, who later became our king. We were playing
shit for real.
Yeah, we were playing at Churchill's, and at the end we did this encore. We had this whole plan, like, oh, it's our first show, let's do something big. So we were covering Dayman from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. We did a kind of rock remix to it.
Okay.
And we're playing, and the whole song is basically 2 gigantic solos from Nelson. And before the song starts,
yeah, you're amazing, dude.
We kind of already started it, and Nelson walks up to us like, hey, my string's gone. And we were like, oh yeah, cool, man.
Keep going, man.
We got no fucking idea what's going on.
That's awesome.
And whatever, we start playing it, and so we get to the part where the first solo comes in and nothing's happening.
This is
so
Nelson's like first live show.
Yeah.
You know what? I've learned to just keep it going. Like there was literally one show at Churchill's that I played literally with 5 string. It popped in the first song of the whole set, and I played 5 string throughout the whole entire set. It went perfect.
Okay.
Thankfully.
The first, Nelson was just kind of leaning
show,
up against the
I was like, you know what? I have my guitar string. Let me go and try to put a new one real quick. Because there's a certain part of the song where it's like it's just like it's just fun. Like, you listen to Dame.
This motherfucker starts restringing in the middle of the fucking song.
He puts it down on his lap, and he's like,
yeah, no, I was like,
and I'm like, Nelson.
That's amazing.
And I keep turning because it's like we get into it again and the crowd starts singing and we're like, damn man, and everyone's singing along and I'm like, cool, and then it comes time for the solo again and I turn to him and each time he's like
I don't know what's going on.
And I'm like, at this point everyone's like, stop singing, and then I see this man, this god, this just like daddy in the audience, and he's so fucked up, and I'm like, man,
You want to talk about music dads?
I'm like, literally music dad, and I'm like, you know what, man, get up here. He comes up there and he just kills.
He does a fucking
shit.
split on stage.
He does a split on stage,
amazing.
like literal king
Our
shit.
sign off of the stage. We had a sign that said Bruvvy on it.
He just
Karate
kicks it off, like literally, and he's like the most amazing shit I've ever seen. And then finally, towards the last solo where we go into like this like double bass pedal part,
It's like a cool
Nelson finally picks the guitar back up and we just like do a solo and we
Yeah, he
finish.
starts like
my
duetting
God.
with you. His name is Fabio.
Fabio,
you are
not
a
the model.
fucking king.
At Fabio, not the model on Instagram. Literally
The Gasms,
king.
right?
The Gasms.
Gasms, that's his band. Check him
Fabio,
out.
the real one.
Literally king. And now every single time we play at Churchill's, because he's always there, he comes up on stage and he does Damon.
Fabio Luther King in the
Fabio
house. My
Luther
God.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing.
Praise
Jesus,
be, praise
man.
be.
That sounds like a fun show.
Oh yeah.
regardless.
Yeah, it
No,
was sick.
we always have a good.
Shout out to you for just trying to change the string. That's ingenuity. So what exactly was the problem with the guitar? Because you got the guitar nerd in me is like.
So this is what was explained. So I changed the nut to a Tux XL. That's
Cool.
what basically, I should have done that a long time ago. Either way, but it was just getting just terrible. Like if you look at it, it's just the string kind of grinded down to the original nut already.
Oh snap!
So where like it just not only was like breaking strings, but it was just buzzing. on the E and B
So it's
string.
too low.
Yeah.
It's too cutting.
Yeah,
Oh,
the bottom like high strings, and
intense.
supposedly he lubed up the bridge part. Like I don't know how to really describe the saddles. The saddles.
Yes.
The saddles because supposedly that helps. I'm not a guitar tech, but that's what he said.
Okay.
And it's lasting how it used to. So
Awesome, man.
it's been fixed. So
I'm glad you got it
shout out
fixed.
to Johnny from Guitar Nook.
Guitar Nook.
Guitar Nook,
bro.
baby, North Miami. Hey.
Yes.
Sweet, man. I love it. You know, guitars. I love guitars because, well, number one, I like to play them, but I have so many different kinds because they all have different sounds. I mean, you can get two guitars that are exactly the same and they both sound different.
Right. No,
It just
for sure.
they're just all different. Then they even if the wood is the same, there's different moisture, in the wood itself, which
Yes.
it gets out there. It gets out there. So I follow a lot of guitar repair channels. I'm not a guitar tech, but
Yeah. No, but it's good to keep. That's good.
it's good to know.
Yeah.
It's fun, and you learn things, and then I love the community aspect of guitar. That's the fun part,
Yeah.
and about music and this whole thing.
If anything, I'm probably gonna start learning because I'm now building up the first guitar I got, the Squire.
Oh, sweet.
I'm gonna be changing the pots, the pickups. I'm stuck between an Eric Johnson pickups or David Gilmour pickups on it.
Johnson pickup.
Eric Johnson pickups.
Eric Johnson's amazing.
Either or.
That's tone.
Changing to lock up tuners.
And then learn East West.
And then learn East West. That's basically no, but I always wanted a Fender. I've always been playing with a Gibson.
Oh, really? So you want Fender?
I want a Stratocaster,
Oh,
even if
man.
it's Squire, but I'll build it up.
And that's when we kick him out of the band.
Have you guys seen the Gibson Play Authentic video yet? Have you guys seen that? Please do yourselves a favor and check that out. There's a Gibson, about a week or two ago, maybe more, they came out with a video called Play Authentic, and then it was almost a threat to guitar companies that, for anybody out there who's been stealing these guitar shapes, that is copyright infringement. We're looking out. We're coming after you guys. And it was like a whole thing, and it got so hated they took the video down in like an hour.
Oh,
Really? I didn't hear about that.
So right now Gibson is the joke of the guitar world right now because that video was the most
Bruvvy.
it was the most funny video I've ever seen in my life, and I hate that. I feel bad for the guy making the video because I feel like Gibson just threw him into traffic.
To the fire.
Yeah, because he knew what he was getting into. But
It's
whatever.
just like Gibson, like a Les
Iconic
Paul.
though, iconic.
Les Paul sounds the way it's shaped. You know
No,
what
no,
I
it's
mean?
honestly
It's
they feel
just
amazing.
thick, like,
Dude, I sold mine. I used to have a Epiphone Les Paul Ultra. Those are cool. Nancy Wilson of Heart, she actually designed that guitar.
no shit.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
And they're really cool. It actually it comes with a satin neck already, so you don't even have to satin it down. It's also it's chambered body, so you get like a kind of like an acoustic tone,
Yeah.
and it comes with an acoustic piezo pickup, so you actually get acoustic sounds
Oh,
from this Les Paul. So it's I love that guitar. It was super comfortable. The neck was amazingly slim, and just I sold it though, and sold it to a guy whose guitar collection got ruined in Hurricane Irma.
Oh, fuck!
Yeah,
That
so
blows, man.
yeah, I was happy it went to him though, because at least I could usually you sell it to people and they resell your shit.
Right.
So at least he's gonna use it. So then I really wanted another Les Paul because they feel totally different.
Yeah.
It's the scale length too. I don't know if you knew that, but they're just a little bit shorter than Strats.
Yeah.
Oh really?
It's like
Yeah.
a 1/4 inch or something. It's like a 24 3/4 inch, and then Strats are like 25 and something. So it's but it makes a bit of a
Can
difference.
you guys hear Inve crying? I hear that.
I love it, man.
Vietnam scene.
Ingve, man, he lives here.
More.
Yeah.
We see him a lot in our area.
Do you? Oh man.
Big time. He lives in our area for sure.
Oh, it's hilarious. I love Ingwe, but he's also a bit of a douchebag. But that's part of his thing.
That's his personality.
I think if he was nice to anyone, he'd just be boycotted immediately. They'd be like, "Who are you?
Yeah.
This isn't arpeggios from hell. Like this isn't."
I just hate that he doesn't like shrimp, and I love shrimp.
He doesn't like shrimp.
No, he says they're an abomination. He says
We're boycotting Ingve right now.
Well,
He's allergic.
I'm allergic to it. So I'm not
Boycott
really
Nelson.
just like.
Boycott Nelson.
You know? No, but if you like it, go ahead. But I'm just.
I love it, man.
Crafty Crab.
Oh,
Can we talk about the Crafty Crab? Shout out to Crafty Crab. If you need to go to a seafood boil place,
Oh, I would
Crafty
love that. Where is
Crafty.
that? Where is it?
Crafty Crab, it's
near Sunrise.
Sweet.
Yeah, near Sunrise, but
Super
it's so good.
Give them your money and business, because I love that. I love seafood boils. Yes, I was gonna say something a second ago, but I totally forgot. It was gonna be about food, but I can't remember. Krusty Krab. Krusty Krab. I started watching. Well, this is just an aside. I've been watching SpongeBob so much, and I remember when Burger King had a promotion when the first SpongeBob movie came out, and it annoyed me that they didn't put a Krabby Patty on the menu. Why would you not do that?
When
You're
I was
so
little,
right.
I always wanted to try one. Like, you know how there's certain foods in different shows? Like, for me, it was the Teletubbies, like the pink
The
slime
pizza
thing.
from
I never
Ninja
watched
Turtles.
Cookies,
The
dude,
pizza
the
from the-
cookies from the Teletubbies.
Nah,
you
for
remember
me,
when
it
the
was the
machine
pink
started
slime.
exploding and hitting them all in the face?
Yeah, yeah.
I never caught the Teletubbies. It looked fun though.
Can we talk
Look
about
cool.
the Bao like buns from Spirited Away though? Like when she's
Oh,
eating it and crying.
The little rice things that they have, or is that what they are? They're like white and have a little black thing in the middle.
Yeah,
Rice
yeah,
cakes.
Yeah.
Rice cakes. I
They're
don't know.
Bao.
The ones that Pokemon also eat, right?
Sorry.
I don't know.
Pokemon are always eating those things too. Yes, looks like poke food. Oh man, yeah, that food looks so good. But yeah, why would you not put a Krabby Patty? I've been annoyed ever since for 10 years
What
now.
would it be? What do you think would it
keeps
be?
me
Like
up at
a
night.
fish burger? What do you think?
I think it could just be
would be?
it could literally just be the Whopper.
It's crab.
It could
meat,
just be
dude.
the Whopper, but just call it
that's
something
it?
different. Yeah, because a regular Krabby Patty is just that.
Fish burger.
Yeah.
They be eating themselves, man.
Well, I mean, what else are you gonna get under the
Mr.
sea?
Mr. Krabs, that's his name, Krabby. Like he
Yeah.
named the place after himself. It's a Krabby Patty.
And the lovely Claudia said that maybe they didn't want to make make the customers confused because maybe they would think there was crab in it, and they wouldn't buy it.
Yo, crab cake burger would be so dope.
Oh my god, that would be pretty good. I like crab cakes. I would
Crab
do it.
cakes
I would
are
do it.
amazing.
I wouldn't get it from Burger King, but I would.
Watching.
But a crab cake burger would be
I
great.
will drive across states for a good crab cake.
Speaking of driving across states,
Awesome.
so the live shows. Where have you guys been doing your live shows? What's the furthest you've traveled for a show?
No. What's it called? Deerfield? We played up in Deerfield.
Pompano's
Is that
further.
Pompano's further.
where did we play in? Oh,
Loser
Loser
Lounge.
Lounge. Yeah, right.
I have a show there this Saturday.
Yeah, we're mainly.
Yes.
We mainly play like South Florida, like Fort Lauderdale down to like Miami area, but we're actually playing a show on Friday. It's a Punks and Picks show, so it's basically hosted by these two guys. Their names are Roberto and Matthew, correct? Matt. And I'm trying to like not go by his Facebook name and call him like the name that I actually call him in real life, but like I can't anymore. They're these two awesome guys. They're photographers in the local scene, and they literally just make everyone look good. Like they're
For free.
For free. They're such amazing dudes. We see them at shows all the time, and they're just like, hey, their names on Instagram are @ExplodingLens and @SpinStyle, and they come to us randomly, and they're like, hey guys, do you want to do a photo shoot? And they just take the most like the dopest pictures
Awesome.
ever.
Most of our Instagram is literally just their pictures.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And they're hosting this event called Punks and Pigs, which is basically they're hosting it at Inchoate Art Gallery, and that's in Oakland Park. And basically they're hanging up all these like amazing, just blown up photographs of all the people in the music scene that they took pictures of, and it's so major because they're just like they're capturing the life that is the Miami music scene. And there are gonna be 3 bands playing. It's the Polaroid Notebook, and then another band. I'm so sorry.
Vaginauts? Vagna? I don't know.
Vagnauts, the Vagnauts. The Vagnauts.
Make sure you pronounce it the way it's
The Vaginauts. That's
And then
working at NASA.
the event starts at 7. Speaking of NASA, hold up.
Oh.
The event starts at 7, but we play at 11, but everyone has to be there for the entirety because it's gonna be fucking sick. Like
Hell
they're
yeah.
gonna be selling these pictures. It's gonna be a fucking crazy ass event. So
So be
shout
there.
out to those guys.
Support
They're
the
amazing.
local scene. It's a free show as well.
Oh, cool.
So
And they are good pictures.
they're
Like, just go to
amazing.
meet the guys because
They are really
Yeah.
good.
They are good. Like,
And they're the nicest people
Yeah.
I've ever met in my life. Like
They have such just like ridiculous like belief and like hope in us as like a band, like in Bruvvy. They're so supportive and so like,
and in
just,
the
like,
local scene
in the
in
local
general.
scene in general, like they just
They're in like
But you guys have something
every-
special, though. Spoiler alert. But you guys have something good going on. Yeah.
What?
It is true. It is true, and it's funny because you guys look like you guys all have a lot of fun, and that is the main thing. A lot of people don't look like they're having fun. They don't. A lot of people take themselves either too seriously or I don't want to say not seriously enough, but whatever that means. But
Yeah.
some people, I don't know. I look at you guys and I just think they're having a good time, and then it makes you want to go be there. It makes you want to be a part of that crowd. So
Thank you.
I could see that. You're. I could tell your crowd supports you guys a lot because it's fun to. You want to support somebody that you think also kind of supports you in a way. People that you kind of relate to, and there's something good there. So I would highly recommend. Don't change a thing. Just keep on.
Thank
Keep
you.
on keeping on.
And that's Bruvvy vibes.
I think it comes from us letting kind of our personality shine, right? Like
Yeah.
like a lot of the Instagram stuff, we just do it because it's funny. Like we
Yeah.
Like
we
the
think
ones
it's
like, for
funny.
example, I like the color purple.
It is funny though and your Instagram is a great outlet for your guys' message or you're not your message but the vibe because it just like I said it's kind of like everybody gets to hang out with you guys. It's like you make the camera feel like the other person in the room. Like it's like The Office. It's like an episode of The Office.
Yeah.
You get to be that extra person.
See, and we all
Looking in.
have imperfections because Juan is allergic to rice. And
Really?
it hasn't been.
Rice?
It
Can't
hasn't
eat rice. I
been
haven't been able to
easy.
eat rice since 16. It hasn't been an easy life. It's been an awful life actually. It's led to so many problems.
That's
you know
intense,
what?
man.
I can't eat Doritos, man.
Doritos have what, rice bits in them?
I don't know.
It's
Whatever is
corn
in both.
flowers.
Yeah.
Whatever is in both just kills me
it's intense,
instantly.
dude. Oh, stop it. Oh, what happened? Like, I'll be playing it up for the camera.
The other day we were telling the story. Like I tried to eat. Like Liz had a Chipotle bowl, and I was like, maybe it's all in my head. If I just eat it and just ignore
He's
it,
like, fuck it, it's
And I'm
psychosomatic.
like-
I'm gonna do this right now.
yeah, I'm just like, I'm just gonna eat
Oh
some fucking
my-
rice and I'll be fine. Who cares?
How did it
2
go?
bites, instantly, like my neck just started like swelling on the inside. I was like, I gotta go.
Dude, I had a friend that was allergic to peanuts, and he tells me this while he's eating peanuts from me. He's like, yeah, I think I'm allergic to these. He's like, I was like, why
Joke's
are
on
you?
you, I'm killing myself.
Yeah, I was
right
like,
now.
I was like, could you not have done this when I'm not here?
Buddy.
I was like, why are you eating them? He's like, yeah. He's like, well, I think I'm allergic. I was like, don't gamble, don't gamble on this. What if
Especially
you?
with peanuts, dude. Peanut allergies are intense.
And 50-50 is not good odds.
Yeah, I've never met anyone that has like a mild peanut allergy. It's always like, hey, if I breathe peanut air, I die. And
Yeah.
shit.
Bro, like you get Amber Alerts for peanuts in the area. Like, I swear to God, they'll be like, oh my God, like what the fuck, man? No, man. Like peanut allergies are serious, dude. Yeah, like you could rub a peanut and be like, my.
Not thinking
You
of-
lose your arm. Just
Yeah.
amputate.
It's like the Godsmack video arm disappears.
Tourniquet that shit.
I remember my sister got allergic to ketchup one day. She's not allergic to ketchup, but she's not. But one day she went to Five Guys, and this is her story. She told me she went fucking nuts on ketchup. She just got
snap.
so much
Yeah.
ketchup. So she said she probably had more ketchup that day than ever, and her neck started like swelling up, and she had to go to the
You
hospital.
can develop it. Like my dad's huge on seafood. And so one day he just went and he bought like 2 pounds of like cooked shrimp. And he just like sat
Sorry.
down and was just like, he was like, doing his thing.
What a
like,
baller!
sitting in his boxers, like on his little iPad, just like watching Russian dramas or whatever.
What?
And then he
That
just
sounds
broke
awesome.
out in major hives. And my mom was like, you're allergic to shrimp now. You overate them. And my dad's like, I'll be fine. Can I have another shrimp? Like,
Oh my
My
God,
dad did that with mangoes.
that's
Mango's his
intense.
favorite fruit. He ate a ton of it. Broke out in hives.
No
Same reaction.
way.
That's
dude.
so fucking sad.
That's intense,
He's
man.
good now though. Like
Wow.
he recently, and no problem.
Yeah, guys, so hold back. All right, hold back. If you're the-
Moderation is important.
Don't eat too much.
And that, but that will never
Yeah.
happen with Bruvvy's music, though. You could listen to it
Yes.
as much as you want.
Yeah.
break out in Bruvvy hives.
Bring out a Bruvvy Hive.
Oh, Bruvvy,
Bribes.
Bruvvy hive. That's gonna be the Bruvvy. The
Hashtag
There we go.
That might be a more
Bruvvy
popular. I
hives.
hope that gets to be a really popular hashtag when people are listening to our music.
Bruvvy vibes and Bruvvy hives. I like
It's
it.
the dark side of Bruvvy vibes.
I like it. They turn people into like crack addicts for Bruvvy. Like,
I hope so.
I love it, man. Dude.
I'm homeless because I listen to some. I have to buy every album 10 times.
Do some dank Bruvvies.
I was gonna clean my room, but then I listened to Bruvvy.
Oh my god, I love it. Man.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-da.
Oh.
Ba-ba.
Nelson's
Afro Man. I heard Afro Man is a security guard at a school now.
I'm gonna go to that school and
Yeah.
educate myself.
For real, that's the security guard you want to get caught smoking pot by.
Yes,
That's the
Hell
one.
yeah.
Is there a Bruvvy album in the works?
there is.
Mm.
Actually, we recorded this demo back in April of our song Susan Sarandon.
Oh my god, she's
And
amazing. Step by step,
she's-
day by day. Three's Company. She's amazing.
She's Rocky
God.
Horror Picture Show. But yeah, she's
I didn't know she was in there.
a goddess. Yeah, she plays. What's
I
her
didn't watch
face?
a lot of Rocky Horror.
Janice. Janet.
I was like,
Damn it.
Janice.
Janet.
damn it, Janice. No, but we recorded that song and then we wanted to let it out, but we were like, what's the point of like letting out a half-assed like demo-ish thing? You know, we kind of just decided to record all together and release it with the album. So within the next couple months, I believe we're going to Nashville to track all that, and
It's a good place to do that.
yeah, hopefully play a couple shows there in some bars.
You guys would do good there. I think.
We're hoping. I've
People there have-
international. Nelson's international
Yeah.
too. but
People there love blues.
Yeah, it's there's an area called Broadway, and it's just bars, and
Whoa.
every bar has a
I
live band.
swear, have you ever been to Nashville?
Never, I haven't.
So you
Just
go
the
to-
airport.
You go to Broadway. I remember this was recently. I did a road trip recently, so I just once I came into Broadway, I swear every single store, and there's a lot of them. Each one had like just a giant just drum set just going off in each single one.
By itself, there
And
was
there's
by
one
people,
itself.
man. There's nothing really to do in
Yeah.
Nashville on like a weekday night or anything like that except to go there, and everybody supports the music scene. And I've seen like I follow some musicians on YouTube that they do like the life of a musician like on tour and stuff like that, just to kind of see what it's like. And all of them are based in Nashville.
Wow.
And it's I guess every musician kind of moves there because there's that type of culture and you meet each other and one of the reasons we're going to Nashville is just because the studios there are geared for our type of music.
For your sound, yeah.
Whereas if we try and record something like that here, it might be good. It just might not be what we want.
They're also very lenient on like equipment there. So for example, if you go to any studio here, it's like, oh, you have to rent this amp to use it, and it's like $100 an hour. You know what I mean? It's like in Nashville, there are a couple studios like Blackbird Studios. They just give you the equipment. They're very as our sound engineer phrased it, like musician friendly. So it's like if you need, they have like 20,000 snares, you know what I mean, for you to choose from, and they're like, which
awesome.
one sounds better?
They have a video of like a tour, the owner doing
Whoa.
a tour of it, and he goes into like the microphone room, and it's like, oh, this is a microphone from 1926 that this singer used, and we have it here if you want this type of sound.
That's
like,
so cool.
They have rooms where the roof, like it can be raised and lowered.
Whoa.
Depending on how you want the reverb to be. Like
Oh my god.
it's that over the top, but it's just that level of detail that you have to pay attention
Yeah.
to if you want to put out like a quality album, EP, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, that's the type of
That excites
care
me.
you have to put to it.
Yeah, there's like, I noticed there's a trend, not just in this scene, but in music scenes all over the place in general, like local scenes, where it's like, okay, well, let's just put out a demo because we don't need all that extra stuff right now. But it's like, if not right now, there's not going to be a time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If you have like, if there's a path for you, you know what I mean? Like, just, you gotta go down there. You gotta knock down some trees, but like, you know, it's right there. And if that's an option, then just do everything in your power to get that.
Definitely. And it's a quantity versus quality thing. I'm sure you guys want to put out something that people really want to really listen to and appreciate,
sure.
and something where you can really kind of listen to the kick drum and hear it, and it's its own instrument in a way. Like I think every good album it's a collective piece, but once you close your eyes and listen to a certain piece of that, like you hear just one guitar, you can hear it all by itself, and that's
For sure.
that takes time to do, and it takes a certain equipment.
Our songs are very like riffy, and they're very like I feel like they have a lot to do with what the open space sounds like. You know what I mean? Like what like the ghost notes and the pauses and everything, and it's there needs to be room to nod your head, and during those parts it's like the bass, how the bass falls in line with the kick, like that's so important because that really makes it. And if you don't have the proper equipment to record that and really like embody that feeling, then it's like okay,
And I feel like first impressions are kind of everything, like if you release something that's super half-assed as a demo, like that's kind of how you're going to be viewed in that
people
light.
can tell, right?
Yeah.
You just
You're right
associate
about
the name with it. It's 100%,
you're right.
Like, it's like, okay, I heard that Bruvvy song once. I don't need to check out the other stuff because I heard that first one and I wasn't really feeling it.
Yeah, you're right, because then people think, the rest got to be, they probably all sound the same way.
You have to set the bar high.
Yeah, and it's true. And shout out to Gut Check. They're on Shut Up, Let's Talk a few episodes ago, and they went all out on their first album, and they went and recorded it, and they used equipment that wasn't theirs necessarily. The producer changed the strings and got specific ones for the bass and all this kind of stuff, and they had that same experience. That's why I'm excited for you guys, because you guys are going through that kind of thing, and that's huge because you want to invest not just the money but the time and the actual effort.
Sure.
A lot of people now just record at home and send it off to mastering, and just expect it to come back. I'm excited for you guys because I'm sure your music deserves that, because it's got a great vibe and it's got to get captured properly. Do you guys use like amps and stuff like live, or are you guys gonna switch to Axe effects or any other thing how's that go?
What that is?
Well, for you, I guess it's kind of like
the thing where you plug into your like iPad or something like that.
Kind of, sort of. It's basically kind of, it's kind of like it's just a box base. It's like a multi-effects pedal, but just much more advanced. Like it just sound good. They sound real good. And it's funny, everybody uses them now. And when I say everybody, I literally mean like Metallica.
Yeah.
Like even people that can afford to bring the amps.
Yeah. It depends. It definitely depends. I feel like on the venue for sure.
Even Steve Vai's using them. Even Steve Vai.
It definitely depends on the venue for sure, because I feel like I want to, me personally at least, I want to keep that rock and roll, just like
need the amps,
like just that spirit alive. You know what I mean? Just like I feel like it's all part of the experience. Just hearing that like shitty
the crackle,
you know what I mean? Like hearing it's
a
really,
single coil noise.
Yeah, and I mean like I feel like definitely like I at least like really need to work on my sound. I need to fuck around with pedals more. I feel like right now I'm playing through a Vox, and a Vox is fucking amazing.
They sound great.
But it's like
one of my favorites.
I need more thickness. It's lacking this like overall like roundness, and I need to get my guitar set up. Like it's a whole story. But and Paula, we were playing at the rehearsal studio where we usually rehearse, and we found that her bass sounds amazing on like a Carbon bass amp. Like it sounded insane.
Those are so good though.
We're looking to make it sound make the sound, like the live sound better at least, but definitely we're sticking with amps.
So amplifiers, you can't play rock and roll at low volume.
No,
and you need that. I think for what you guys do, it's rock and roll, and that sounds funny because to a lot of people now it's like, what do you mean rock and roll? You mean metal? you mean prog?
Screaming?
It's like no, just rock and roll.
You're like
Oh man, well guys, we could be here all night if we continue talking, because I could chop it up with you guys all freaking month. But in the meantime, folks, where can we follow the Bruvvingtons at?
I love that. So on if you go into the search bar and on Instagram, on Facebook, we're at Bruvvy Band. So at BRUVVY Band. And we actually have an inactive YouTube channel right now, but we post a lot of like silly stuff on Instagram, and we're looking to kind of post up some
some more silly stuff on there. So
feel free to follow them at Bruvvy Band. Do you guys want to plug any other social medias for your own personal accounts or just the band? Whatever you guys like, feel free. Just the band?
We're staying incognito.
My Instagram whack as fuck.
Half-eaten Chipotle. No, you can't have the rice. No, you can't have the... No rice.
If you guys want to see like 14-year-old Juan with a bowl haircut.
Oh my God, follow it.
At Juan _goes_.
And the lurkers, they're gonna be there. They're gonna show up. I'm telling you. Oh man. Anyway, folks, if you guys want to follow me, it's at AlzarChand. If you guys want to follow the show, it's at Shut Up Let's Talk all over the interweb. The web is sphere. The globe is what? Anyway, until next time, folks. Love, peace, chicken grease. Look both ways before you cross the street. We will catch you on the flippity flip. That's the first time everybody's throwing up the peace signs. I love that. That's gonna be a new thing.
That's Bruvvy vibes.
Yeah, that's Bruvvy vibes. And all the V's, 2 V's for Bruvvy.
Hey! It's Bruvvy, not Bruvvy.
Yes. And it's funny because I typed her name into Google and it actually corrected it to Groovy. It's a Groovy Band instead of Bruvvy Band.
We are.
Yes.